I apologize for the boxes in the background. My wife and I purchased our first house and we're moving in 3 weeks, so get ready for that. So my last video on my Forex funds or prop trading was on April 30th. As you can see right here, this was episode 2. Episode 3 I think is probably going to be one of the most important episodes in this entire series because I'm going to show you actually how to pass the phase 1 live on camera today. And I recorded my trade step by step to show you the best way at passing prop challenges in phase 1, the most difficult, the one that you have to reach 8 to 10% profit. So I think that this will probably be the most helpful prop trading challenge video you'll probably ever watch. All right, so let's get started and show you what I actually did today. All right, so you can see here on screen that we have the 815 euro bank rate, and that's expected to be a 0.25% or 0.25% basis points increase. And I'm looking to take this trade here in just about 60 seconds, a lot less than about 30 seconds. So as you can see, there has been a huge push down on gold, and I'm expecting a bounce up post data, and I think this is a great place to get involved. And I'm going to be entering at quite a bit extra risk here. And we're going to look to increase, actually just past the prop firm challenge with this kind of trading. So a prop firm, we have to make sure that we don't exceed 5% drawdown. And so the idea here is to enter trades right near a news event. So our stop loss can be tight and the potential move is strong. And so that's what I'm looking for here. You can see the engulfing candle right here. This is a long engulfing, bullish engulfing candle. And I think that this is a great place to enter into the trade. So we only have about 15 minutes left before the next candle. It could push a little bit further down. So open-ended on this trade, and I'll pause it until the news releases and see where we are. I might add to the position as well, depending on what it does. So we're still a few minutes out. It's still about 7 minutes out from the news. And you can see that where my stop loss is at 4.8%. So this is 4.8%, which is where I think that you should do just in case there's slippage when it comes to prop firm accounts. And you can see where my take profit is at 8%. There's one mistake here, is that I didn't give myself enough time to calculate the correct risk profile here. As you can see, I'm only giving myself probably around about 30 pips give, and we're only about 5 minutes out. So it looks like we're going to be okay. I don't imagine this pushing down right before the news, but I would like to give myself a little bit more breathing room on this position. So probably about 60 pips roughly. So I probably used a little bit too much risk on this trade. I used 4.5 lots, but I would have liked to use maybe around 2.25. Because gold will, after this move or after the news release, will most likely move more than 50 pips here. So just some food for thought, as take your time when you're trying to do something like this, and give yourself a little bit of space, because gold can move just before news announcements like this. Okay, so now we're just 1 minute out to the news. You can see the trade's been just hanging out around my entry point, just slightly below. I'm going to open this up a little bit so you can actually see what it's doing on the profit or loss. And pulling up the news. So this is FX Street. This is the site that I like to use. It's much better than Forex Factory. So we're going to see what happens with this news. I don't think it matters what it is, what they decide on the rate for the euro. I think it's going to cause gold to push up. It might push down a little bit, hit my stop loss, and then push up. So we'll see. And here we go. Okay, so it's starting to move. Okay, so it came in at 0.5. So it's more than expected. So we should see a bit of a reaction, I would think, but we'll see on the euros moving up. So that should cause gold to also move up. But it's kind of sitting here right now. So we're gonna have to just wait and see what takes place. We're about to hit take profit here in a little bit. So we're only about 15 or so pips away from the target of reaching 8%. So you can see that this is obviously a demo account, but this is an example of the best times to pass prop firms phase one, like at my Forex funds, FTMO, is to wait for these events and to see where price is. And if price is pushing heavily in one direction pre-news, then there's a good chance that post-news with a big event like this, that it could bounce in the opposite direction. And you see this happening quite often, and this is a good way to capitalize on it. So if you're wondering if I took this trade actually live, I did. I took this on my main account, which is copying to all of my accounts, ranging up to $250,000. Actually, no, not even $250,000. We're talking about $350,000. But I copy all my trades from this turnkey account of $25,000, which also copies to my other prop account that you see right here, that has the gold trade as well. So that's what we're looking at. You can see that my profit is almost there. So I'll go ahead and pause the video until the next move. Okay, so now you can see we just hit our target. The comeback kid was able to close out for 8% profit. Again, this is a demo account, and just to show you guys, this is how I like to approach passing challenges. And I just proved to you here live on camera that if you do this right and wait for the right moments to purchase a challenge from my Forex funds or another prop firm, and wait for price to give you what you need. And if you wait before a big news event, either scheduled or unscheduled, or like FOMC, NFP, and if price is in the right spot leading into that news, you can have a tight stop loss and come out with some big profit in these particular moments. So here is proof there is a strategy to passing challenges, but you have to be patient. So you can see the trade taken right here. There's basically no drawdown. My profit target of 60 pips was hit. I did have a stop loss of 4.8% because that's what prop firms typically use, or 5%. It only gave me about 30 pips room for price to go against me before hitting that 4.8% stop loss. So technically I should have used a smaller lot size. As you can see here from the history, I used 4.5 lots, which resulted in $2,452, which right here you can see that is an 8% profit. So I could have gotten away with probably 2 lots here, 2.5 or something like that. And that's where I would have liked to have been. And you even heard me say that as taking the trade. I want a little bit more room when it comes to gold because it can swing down before shooting up. And this is something that you should be prepared for. So I would look for a profit amount of anywhere from 75 to maybe 100 pips on an important news release like this, or a bigger news release scheduled or possibly even unscheduled depending on where price is. Okay, so I took this trade also on my manual trading accounts, which resulted in upwards of 0.5% profit on my manual trading account. So you can see my turnkey Forex account. I was able to hit 265 pips profit on this gold trade with basically no drawdown. I think it went 6 pips into drawdown and shot up. And I held it to the daily support and resistance point that you see on my chart here. So I used pivot points. That's part of the Comeback Kid Manager EA. And you can see that the price really reacts to these levels. And you can see that right when it hit the daily R1, which is the most important level, it basically started pushing back down. It might continue back up, as you can see here, but also it's a really good place to look for take profits, especially on gold. All right, so my prop trading account also held the position for that long as well, so about 265 pips, and you can see that resulted in a profit of $264 on this account. So the prop account, you can actually see the results right here. So that is phase 2. This is the funded one right here. So I have 1.06% profit on this account so far. It was opened July 13th. So $2,000 profit, which is 1% overall. and I'm not even 10 days in. So I'm looking really good so far. I'm looking for a profit target of anywhere from 2 to 4% on my funded account, because 2 to 4% will basically pay for my living expenses. I'm not a big spender. I don't own a Ferrari. I don't own a fancy house. I own a house now. I just purchased one. I'm moving in 3 weeks, but it's not a mansion. I live conservatively, as I think that fits me better, and I feel more comfortable with that, at least for now. And so you can see that phase 2, so leading into getting my funded account, I wasn't taking trades like this. I wasn't waiting for big news events and entering higher risk positions. I just don't like trading like that. But I know that it's necessary to pass phase 1 challenges at my Forex funds or FTMO or other places. And so I'm going to trade less risky. And you can see here it was really consistent in phase 2, because in phase 2 you only need to make 2.5% a month. 60 days, 5% profit target. So every 30 days you need to make 2.5% basically. So I was able to do that in about 6 weeks. You can see the account was started on June 1st and I ended it on June 13th, and was able to pass this phase with 5.31% with a maximum drawdown of about 3.5%, which is a little bit on the higher side, and I've lowered the risk on my funded account slightly because it's being copied from the account that you see right here. So I don't know if you can keep this all straight. This account did have a loss back in May, and I'm recovering it right now. I'm about 13% on recovery of this 21% loss that I had, and I have my trades being copied from this account to my Forex funds account at 40% the risk. So again, my trades from this account are being copied at 40% the risk. So this profit today of 0.57%, my Forex funds is going to have 40% of that profit. The reason why I'm doing 40% of the risk is to make sure that my risk is low enough to not breach that 5% daily maximum drawdown limit. So guys, this is where we are right now. I am funded. I'm already 1% up. This is my second past prop firm at my Forex funds. I've now done 4 of them, and I have a 50% success rate. And with this example that I gave today, at basically showing you one trade hitting 8% profit, it basically shows that what I'm telling you today can be emulated, copied, and hopefully you can take this advice, run with it, and start passing more prop challenges. Thanks everybody for watching. Catch you on the next one.